What's up, y'all? This Jason Nelson. Day 110. No alcohol. It is May 7th, 2026. In all transparency, it's been rough. Not to want to drink. And like I said, this was never like a lifelong commitment. Now, I'm not saying it to leave room for me to abort the mission. I'm just saying I never said I was like not ever going to drink alcohol again. I initially wanted to do 21 days. And the first few weeks were rough. Then it got like a little cool. Then it got rough again. So I started going to the gym, which I actively is making more of an effort to lose weight. It's been, I don't want to say it's been difficult. No, for me it's been difficult with the consistency of choosing to eat fruits and vegetables. like more fruits and vegetables than I eat other stuff. And trying to avoid snacking so much on salty, sugary foods and stuff like that. I most definitely have had strong waves of sadness and depressional thoughts. Moments where life felt meaningless and hopeless. But that's usually because I start thinking about my past, like 2 failed marriages, married twice in my 20s, and neither marriage worked. I wanted both to work. The first marriage, I was young. Both were young. Well, I was young both times. But I got married like at 24, but then she left when I was 25. Then we tried to work it out again, and then I was separated again at 26. That was like her third time technically leaving, but then she'll come back. She'll go out, have her fun, then want to come back. So at 27, I had left, moved forward, and I pursued someone that I always liked when I was younger. And then my divorce got finalized because the papers got served, like divorce papers, 2010. It didn't get finalized till January 2012. I was remarried. I was with the woman I wanted to be with spring 2011. Remarried summer 2012. Divorced January 2012. Remarried summer 2012. Daughter born November 2012. So, yeah, that was some fast moving action. And I was deeply in love with the second woman I was married to, as many people know. And it broke my heart. And it wasn't so much about the divorce. It was like, I think I could have been better with us going to, like, either marriage, I think I could have been cool with. If they, not that I never did anything. I never said, hey, I want to be divorced. I always said, hey, if this is what you want to do, it's what you want to do. Now, I didn't handle the second divorce as more truly as I did the first one. And what I mean, I didn't handle, like, I never really was much of a drinker, but during that time period, I became a drinker, and most definitely, I started matching her initial energy was petty as hell. She may not say it, may not acknowledge it, and at first I was trying to be cool, but after a while, I was like, fuck it. So, the texts coming, the voicemails coming, it only got worse. Look, until shout out to God first and foremost. Shout out to therapy. And shout out to sobriety. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but it was like, I wish they could have just said, you know what? Not saying they would articulate this. I wish they could have said, hey, I was young. We were moving fast. I thought it's what I wanted, and it's not what I wanted. Now, I gotta say this because this is never really part of the conversation. The first woman I married, when I met her, she said she prayed for me. She said she got tired of hooking up with so many different guys. This is in her early 20s, all right? That she went in her closet, cried and prayed, and then we met. Now, granted, I don't know her life before then. We were young. We met on blackplanet.com. And when we hooked up, this woman literally looked me in my eyes and said, I want to have your baby. I'm like, all right. Because in my mind, I wanted a family. You know, some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. I used to live in children's homes as a kid due to abuse from my dad and his wife. In this particular situation, it was his wife. She blacked both my eyes, knotted my head up, swept my face up by constantly beating on me. This is 1997. And then I ended up going to group homes, and I lived in 4 different group homes. And every year I was in a different group home. Before I got out the group home, which an older sibling of mine, we had different fathers, he had became a foster parent. He took classes so I can live with him, and they can give him some money for me to live with him. And you know, and that's when I met the second woman I married first, but we were teenagers, and I liked her, thought she was smart, but I was very shy, introverted, quiet into myself. Anybody who knew me back then know this is factual. I wasn't known for talking much until like maybe the last 10 years. And that's because I started performing stand-up comedy 2008 at the age of 24. I left St. Louis 2011, but 2014 I started doing my own shows and events in Kansas City at the Uptown Arts Bar. And I used to be really to myself, but because I wanted people to show up to my shows and events, I learned to smile. I learned to be more personable, a little bit more approachable, not have my resting bitch face that I was known for as much. And I started to learn how to engage. And then along the way, I started to feel a little bit more comfortable with doing it because it was exciting to me to see my dreams come true. A part of that dream was like the woman of my dreams at the time, the family of my dreams at the time, the opportunities despite any adversities at the time. But I disliked the fact that they discredited my character, my personality, or my intention. Like, because ultimately, no, I wasn't perfect, but they know I was a great husband and father. They used to tell me, they used to listen to other people, tell me the opinions of other people, and then you start seeing changes in their behaviors because we got hit with challenges. Like right now, gas $4.39. It was $4.39 when I was married to the second woman over a decade ago. You know, the price of gas, groceries, you know what I'm saying? We were just dealing with day-to-day challenges. And I was working doubles, sometimes triples, which you had to clock out for an hour to clock back in. You know, whatever I needed to do. But it wasn't enough. So, you know, the drinking, that didn't come along until a particular situation. And even then I didn't drink because I didn't like to do certain things in front of my children. It got more amplified when I had moved back to St. Louis living alone. And I was living alone in a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house that I thought was going to be for my family, but it was just me there. So I started going to bars and liquor stores, and because I'm a comedian and a performer and a promoter, drinking appeared to be part of the lifestyle, but really I was sad as fuck and I was hurt, but I was trying to be strong because I was still hopeful that things were going to continue to work out, but unfortunately that ain't what happened. And then I went self-sabotage.